Hello everybody, Crit Crab here with another story. This one is about a player who took things into his own hands when he and his party were repeatedly victimized by another player. Unfortunately for the party, the DM had a crush on her, so the DM blatantly and repeatedly tipped the scales in her favor. But before we get into this story, I would like to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Raid, Shadow Legends. Introducing Raid, Shadow Legends. Raid is an awesome turn-based RPG. In case you've been living under a rock, Raid is one of the most talked about mobile games ever. The game is crazy popular with almost 15 million downloads in the last 6 months. In Raid, you can gather orcs, undead, knights, elves, and more. Assemble a team from 16 heroic factions, explore over 1 million champion builds, and the best part, it's free to play. In Raid, there's a multi-battle auto mode, so you can set battles to run in auto mode while you go do something else. Spend less time grinding and more time developing your teams and doing the fun stuff. There are also weekly tournaments and events, so there is always something new to get up to. The game is growing super fast. Just check out this cool roadmap that they've published. They have huge plans for updates in the game for 6 months, so there is a ton of content for you to enjoy. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click on the special links, and you will get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. You can find me in the game under the nickname Crit Crab, so shoot me a friend request. Good luck, and I'll see you there. That aside, roll post. Hello everyone, this is my first time posting, but after reading all of these lovely stories, I figured I might have an interesting one. Players: me, Gnome Bard, later a changeling assassin. GM: friend of mine for several years, patched up a year later after this incident. Elf Ranger, newish, third D&D adventure for her, and also GM's favorite as he was trying to get with her IRL. Cleric bro, fighter bro, and wizard bro. Still great buddies, all had a good laugh after the incident. Edition? 4E, already off to a good start. So, before the Elf Ranger joined our party, our group was just a standard, early-ish level adventuring party. No big problems, loads of fun, and some cool incidents, like rushing an orc off a rooftop and Nat 20 punching him to death while surviving the fall. We were looking for a 5th to join the party, and this girl in our RPG club was very interested. GM, being a hopeless romantic, thought this was his time to shine and show this girl an amazing adventure. It has been to this point. Too bad he went a little overboard. Now, our GM didn't really like giving magic items, but he really started having them appear. A lot. And what do you know? They're items that are good for rangers. No big deal. We thought this may catch her up to speed. Then, all of a sudden, she got a spider mount / familiar. Cause out of game she talked about how that would be so cool. At this point, the Elf Ranger knew she could get away with anything with this GM and took advantage of it. She started ordering the party around, she was always right on her decisions even if they seemed near impossible, and really developed a bad attitude both in-game and out of character. Me and the other bros tried to let the GM know, but he was defending her and throwing excuses left and right. We liked this GM and hoped things would get better than worse. They didn't. One day, my gnome bard disagreed with this chaotic good ranger on burning down the forest. I said this is wrong, and finding one person by smoking down a whole ecosystem goes against my Fey origin. So the ranger had a perfectly reasonable response. She used an arrow to slam a tree into my body, killing me. The GM said it worked. Other party members freaked out, and I kept my calm and said, fine, I'll re-roll a new character. Seeing as she broke one of the core rules of don't kill a party member, I figured I needed to plan to circumvent the GM, who still plays by the rules-ish, and trick the ranger into doing something she would regret. So I made a changeling assassin who had both an artificer and poison kit, and a lot of points in bluff and disguise. This is important. Next session, I show up as an adventurer for hire and a tradesman looking to help only the strongest. The ranger goes on a long tirade of how great it is to see a party member know their place and what I can make for her. I said I can make special gloves that increase your archery skills, but must be worn at the dead of night to activate them. Without hesitation, Munchkin Elf Ranger asks for them, and I happily give them to her. Now, when I showed up as an adventurer, I looked like a dwarven artificer, just doing my thing and pretended for the session to be just that. Fun fact, being an assassin with a poison kit allows you to make a fun poison that prevents a person from moving, and a garrote prevents you from screaming in-game for help. So, nighttime. Our elf has special powers to never sleep and tells us all to get rest while her and her spider single-handedly protect our Sis. GM. Night falls. You wake up the next me. Actually, no. I slip post-it note. GM. Goes pale and wide-eyed. He mad. GM. Ranger. Please say you did not put the gloves on. Ranger. Of course I did. GM. Looks back at me. He is fuming. Okay, well, as you go into your meditation, you realize you can't move. Ranger. My spider will protect me. GM. Spider is dead with a dagger through it. Ranger. What? I scream! GM. You can't. You got a garrote around you. And you can't save because you can't move. The changeling assassin is killing you on the orders of the kingdom for burning down the forest. Me. Hi. Party. Dying of laughter. Ranger is begging me not to kill her out of game, but I keep on rolling the minimum garrote damage until she goes unconscious. At this point, she is screaming at me and throwing a tantrum of how this isn't fair and players shouldn't kill players and I'm a freaking loser. So, I kill her Ranger. At this point, the Ranger gets up, starts crying, and runs out of the room with the GM chasing her. Party and I high-five each other because this is what's been happening for 10 sessions now and we were sick of it. So my changeling throws her body in a bush, steals her armor, and morphs as her, saying, "You guys are weak, I'm out of here." And the assassin leaves. GM ends the session and game after this and didn't talk to me for a whole year after this. We finally reconciled and are buddies again. I gained a horrible reputation from this and future incidents. Those are stories for another time. That if a player is a true nightmare or kills a party member, I show up or get invited by the GM and have an intricate way of killing said player. Hate doing it, but at the same time it is better than rocks fall. TLDR, GM tried to woo a player, she took advantage of it and killed me. I got sweet revenge and a pissed off DM. End post. Well, that was pretty epic to say the least, and I'm glad that the DM didn't pull his punches or put the rules on hold just so as she would survive. While this story was a ton of fun to read and narrate, I guess the one thing that's kind of triggering me about this story is how he mentions other DMs calling OP to their game to kill problem players to death. It honestly says more about the DMs that hire this guy than it does their problem players or even OP. A DM that goes out of their way to recruit someone to kill one of their players isn't looking to solve anything, just piss someone off and make them feel bad. Especially given that DMs are supposed to be impartial. Also, this story reeks a little bit of that happened. The way the DM broke and the party cheered just seems a little bit overhyped. But I really don't like questioning the legitimacy of these stories, as I leave that part to you, the viewer. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then please do leave me a like and subscribe to the channel for more stories just like this one. Till next time.